Here's the video that goes along with your guided notes covering the standard 7.SP.1, which covers populations and samples, introducing the whole data aspect. Okay, so on your notes on the front, you'll see the definitions of population and sample that the book gives you. As far as comparing population and a sample regarding the entire school versus a class size. Now, I need you to write down the definitions at the bottom. Notice that I give you the example. If you ask 100 randomly chosen people at a football game what their main job was, the population of that of those people would be everybody at the football game, but you're not asking everybody at the football game. You're only asking 100. And because you're not asking everybody at the football game, you are actually choosing to randomly sample the population. So pause the video, write these definitions down in your notes, then push play when you're ready to move on. Okay, the next example on your paper is being able to identify a population and a sample. Follow along as I read out loud. An agency wants to know the opinions of Florida residents on the construction of a new road. The agency surveys 800 residents. Identify the population and the sample. So the population in this case is every single person that lives in Florida. However, not every single person was surveyed. So that's why they call it a sample. The sample is a part of the population. So, which is, in this case, 800 residents who were surveyed. Let's go down to on your own. Follow along as I read out loud. You want to know how many students in your school are going to the volleyball game. You survey 50 students. 10 are going to the game, the rest are not. Identify the population and the sample. In this case, the population are all the students at your school. And then the sample are the 50 students that you surveyed. Since you didn't survey the whole entire school, okay, you only surveyed 50 of them. So make sure you get all this information in your notes, please, before you move on. Okay, the next thing we've got is 4 questions where you have to identify population versus sample. So if you look at number 6, again, we have Florida. The first picture, the first image shows you the whole entire state covered or colored in orange, which represents all the residents of Florida. However, the second image only shows you a portion of that. So this one right here is going to be your population because it's everything. But over here we've got the sample because it's a part of the population. Try to do 7, 8, and 9 all by yourself. So in order to do that, go ahead and pause your video, then press resume play to get your answers. Okay, check your answers. As you're checking, please listen. So number 7, the whole entire bag of all quarters, okay, because the key word all right, that's going to be your population. However, 150 quarters was only a portion of what was in the bag. So because it's a portion, it's a sample. For number 8, the ant colony, all of the ants is a population. Only 5 of them are a sample. And then finally, number 9, keyword all. Okay, that gives you the clue that it's population. And then since there's only 10 library books out of all library books, then that is a sample. Okay, things are going to get a little bit harder because you have to analyze the questions a little bit more. So you're going to indicate whether the following statements are summarizing data collected to answer a statistical question from a population or from a sample. Identify references. This is where it gets hard. You're going to have to identify references in the statement as population characteristics or sample statistics, okay? So this is your new part here. This is going to help you get into the next standard. So if we read part A, 54% of the responders to a poll at a university indicated that wealth needed to be distributed more evenly among the people. Okay, so first off, this example right here is a sample, okay? Because only 54% responded to the poll, okay? That's not everybody who took the poll at the university. Now, does that mean that every single person at the university took that survey? Not necessarily, okay? So it's just like, take our school, for instance. You need all the students to take a survey, but will everybody take that survey? You got people who are going to be absent, people who are out sick, okay? They're not going to get wind of the survey. So not every single person is going to take the survey. Now, so our population is all students or all enrolled at the university. The sample, in which this case is a sample, okay, are those students who took the poll. Okay, so now here is the new part that you have to learn. The population characteristic or sample statistic. So the sample, or the next thing that you're supposed to learn, gives it a numerical value, okay? So this result right here, the 54% of those responders, of those people who actually took the poll, that is what we're looking for. So what you're going to do is you're going to write that down, the 54% of the responders. Okay, now this is a sample statistic because we said that this scenario, like this situation, was a sample. So the numerical value in the sample is called a sample statistic. All right, we'll get a little bit more practice so you know what I'm talking about. All right, go ahead and read part B to yourself, okay, and then push play when you're ready to move on. Okay, you should have read the whole entire statement. This statement, this scenario, is a population because in this scenario, every single student at Bayshore School District, all of their scores were evaluated. Nobody was missed, okay? So now in this certain scenario, the numerical value, which is the 52%, 52% were at or above proficient. So 52% at or above proficient. Guys, I'm just getting this information from the scenario. It's okay. It shouldn't be that hard. So here's your numerical value and what it represents. Okay. So from the top, from the instructions, you have to say whether or not it's a sample statistic or a population characteristic. Well, since we consider this scenario a population, then this is going to be a population characteristic. It's just another one of those fancy names that people have to assign in math. All right, let's get a move on. Okay, for the next couple of problems, I was expecting you to do this all by yourself, but I would feel more comfortable doing C with you, just so I know that you kind of get this. So go ahead and read C to yourself, pause the video, read C, and determine whether or not it's a population or a sample, and then we will go from there. After reading the scenario about talking on mobile phones while driving, okay, you should have said that this was a sample. Okay, 38 people are the only people who participated in the study. So does that mean that these 38 people are the only people on this earth who talk on their mobile phone while driving? No. Okay, so this is not 100% of the people. So therefore, 38 people are a sample. So therefore, the numerical value in which it represents, we have to write that down. So the 2.25 out of 5, which represents the average level of distraction, that is our sample statistic. All right. After doing that one, I think you have enough information to try and do D, E, and F on your own. I'm not going to give you the answers in this video. So once you complete D, E, and F, check your answers from the answer key that I have in the classroom. And then you have one more slide after this. It's actually pretty easy. Good luck. Just your typical standardized test practice question.